next transition that women go through traditionally is menopause, or moon pause as it was known traditionally. We also have many other rites of passage, such as job loss, or separation, or relationship breakup or divorce, perhaps chronic illness, the death of a parent, or even a child. So there are so many other major milestones that people in our culture don't necessarily know how to respond and help their friends that they're witnessing going through such huge life changes. But by having a designated time and space where you meet regardless of what's happening in your life, you're always there to assist. So at moon pause, this traditionally is when a woman was said to attain her power. And that was because, she had reflected and questioned herself and sought deep understanding and knowing from the mysteries every month. And so in a culture where women fear aging as the beginning of the end, as a, facing their demise and ultimately their death, this is, reflective of a culture that doesn't honour death equally along with birth, and knowing that they are two sides of the one coin. You can't have a birth without a death. There is a death of self that happens, and the old identity dies at each gate. For instance, the child dies when we become a maiden with monarch. The maiden dies when we become a mother with birth. And then the mother dies, and this can be a time of grieving as well as emancipation when the crone or the wise woman is born. And even conscious death rites, this is something we're going to see much more of in our culture as we start to become more conscious, that we start acknowledging and preparing this bridge and this gateway of opportunity. The work with the chakras, which is in my book, in clearing these chakras, when we leave our body, the spirit can leave via the crown chakra, which then means that we leave with full consciousness and all of our archetypal selves go with us. And we have many opportunities in terms of where we choose to go. If we don't consciously clear and heal our chakras and become a clear vessel for spirit to anchor heaven on earth while we're here, our energy, when our spirit leaves our body at the time of death, will leave via whichever of these 7 energy centers or chakras is blocked, is the one which isn't healed. And so we then come back, take on another form, and pick up where we left off with some issues in that part of the body which reflect the energy block in that chakra. Interesting, I should motion my heart. I wonder what you think I came to work on this lifetime. Anyway, I invite all of the women who hear these words and they resonate as a deep calling from within their being, as truth, as a memory from a distant time, that perhaps there is a knowing that they want to feel better about themselves as a woman, that they want to feel better about their bodies, come home and befriend their bodies, not see their bodies as the enemy. And after looking through pretty much any glossy magazine, you would probably feel like you should have an eating disorder if you read all the ads and articles by the end of it. So, I see the red tent as kind of the antidote for all of that conditioning which says being a woman is something that needs to be fixed, is a problem, is something you should hide, is too much information. I would also like to add that the red tent is a place of learning. This is where we learn the handicrafts and where they get passed down from generation to generation, and where young girls, if they show a propensity for a certain skill, they then get mentored in that. Similarly, it's where the healing arts are shared, and it's where women learn to become women, essentially. So if this is something which resonates for you, I invite you to visit my site, download the free kit, and invite the women that are close to your heart to meet with you every month at New Moon, and also to consider how your life would be different had you had that legacy from the time you first started cycling with the moon, and consider who you could invite to your circle that has just come into her womanhood, or will be soon, or is in her teens or her 20s and feeling lost and in need of role models. I would also invite you to pass this link on to as many women as your intuition tells you to, if it does at all, and to put it on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, blogs, share it at your mother's groups, your school newsletters, but dare to talk about this taboo subject so that we create a different world for the girls that follow in our footsteps.